Let's start with the premise that we're all irrational. And I don't mean that we're nuts. I don't mean that we're not smart or that when we apply ourselves that we can't make great decisions. We obviously can. But on the vast majority of decisions that we make them at a preconscious level. We're looking for shortcuts because you will be bombarded with about 40,000 decisions you have to make at any given day. You can't think through all of them. We don't have the brain power. We don't have the mental energy. So start with that premise that we are making short-circuited decisions. Then we can only then can we ask the question, how can we affect that short-circuited decision-making process? I want to dispel a few common marketing myths. One is around data. If we're not making rational decisions, trying to convince our prospective customers on a purely rational basis is a fool's errand. This is a sales sheet from a long ago client that is nowhere near from here, and they consider this the sales sheet. Now, ignore what the product is for a moment. You've all seen something similar. In fact, your companies may have something similar. Salesperson comes in and says, hey, these are the specs on our product. And what do? We ignore them. Everybody in here bought a car in the last 5 years, right? If I were to ask you what is the current fuel economy on your car, could you tell me? No. A few people might if you're driving a Prius and you're really passionate about it and it's on your dash every day. But it was a data point that at one point was relevant and now we've forgotten. The reality is we don't really care. We can force ourselves to care. We can force ourselves to sit down with a spreadsheet and figure out what brand of car to buy, which is a massive decision. Or we can allow subtle triggers to take place. We can make irrational decisions and pay price premiums for things that we don't often need. So we start by knowing that data is tough. We don't store data. We don't remember data. I challenge you to remember the phone number you had before the one you currently have. You'll struggle because we're not wired like that. We remember concepts and we apply concepts to make decisions. So that's what we're really trying to do, affect people's concepts. Last example I'll get, and then we'll get into some examples of how we apply this. Volvo. What's the one word you apply to Volvo? Everybody. I have asked that question 1,000 times, never gotten a different answer. Now here's what's really fascinating. When was the last year that Volvo was considered by the feds to have the safest mid-size car on the road? That is a very good guess. It was 83. You know, because I'm asking that there's something there, right? Well, Volvo does make safe cars. They're always on at least the list for safe cars. So I don't mean to bash Volvo. But that fact is an easily identifiable one. Everybody here has access to Google. One quick Google search will tell you what the safest car on the road is. Yet Volvo continues to sell tons of vehicles to new moms trying to protect their kids based off of one decision-making principle. So even things like concepts, we don't like to do research, we ignore data, and we don't chase down easily discernible facts. And we all do it, including me.